Hey everybody, and welcome back. I'm Eric for President. Today we have a tremendous amount to talk about, including a new Star Wars VR game, an easy VR chat custom avatar creator, and a new Oculus Quest keyboard app that's out there. But we of course have to start first with the HP Reverb G2 announcement and spec release. And on paper, this headset is looking like a mighty, value-added, middle-of-the-road pack. I'm very excited to talk about it, have a couple things to go over with it, including a question to you on where we are at currently with headsets. So the HP Reverb is a collaborative headset, and there are some similarities to other headsets on the market, but its outlier is of course its resolution and lenses, touting 2160 by 2160 each eye with full RGB for that crisp resolution with a different lens than the predecessor, and we should not see that pesky Mura issue. Now if we compare the HP Reverb G2 to the Valve Index and the Oculus Rift S as two of the most prevalent headsets out there, if we're just talking in resolution wise and pixel density and resolution display in lenses, this is hands down the probably top resolution headset for the consumer market, putting aside the Pimax 5K and 8K. When it comes to the main specs, the HP Reverb G2 will run at 90 Hz, have a field of view of 114 degrees, will have an IPD slider, 4-camera inside-out tracking, and similar face cushions and strap of the Valve Index. Now when looking at the overall specs outside of resolution for the headset, they all pretty much meet market expectations for what is out there right now. Nothing mind-blowing, however, in reality, the sum of its parts here probably should have been something closer to what the Rift S launched with. That's just an opinion. In addition, the IPD slider is supposedly between 60 and 68. It may or may not be the best fit for you. However, with headsets and IPD, a lot of times it can also have a variation depending on the sweet spot. And if the sweet spot is fairly large on this headset, well, you have some wiggle room there, but that will all have to be found out in testing. Now, similar to the Valve Index, the comfort options between the strap, the magnetic faceplate, and especially the audio are all going to be present on here with the same exact headphones on this headset as the Valve Index. And for all those who play VR, I've said it before that I think audio is one of the most important things to an immersive VR experience and fun experience. And if you haven't tested out Valve Index headphones, you'll be pleasantly surprised that this is probably the best stock audio out there. Lastly, when it comes to the controllers, these are of course what we expected based on the leaked photos, but with a mix of Oculus Touch controllers with index buttons. These controllers will work universally though with all Windows Mixed Reality headsets and will eventually be sold separately as well, price to be determined. It will connect to the PC with a 6-meter cable through DisplayPort and USB-C connection with a USB-A adapter included with the headset. Pre-orders for this are starting now with launch supposedly around the fall timeframe of this year, and it will be launching at $599. And when I look at this, I'm gonna say the dreaded C word, the Cosmos. Comparing it just to that, I think automatically the mid-range is going to be dominated by this headset, on paper at least, and even when looking at it compared to the Rift S, or especially the Index. While the Index is better than it in many aspects, the $400 price difference cannot be overlooked. I'm curious to see how the tracking is on this, how the resolution is. There's a lot that needs to be tested, but on paper, and for the price especially, it's priced super competitively and definitely has a place among the headset discussion. Now, a question that I want to pass off to you when it comes to headsets, looking where we are now between the Oculus line, the Vive line, the Valve line, and now HP, the current headsets we have compared to the original days, there's not many cons left. Most issues have been taken care of, and we're all just searching for that higher field of view, better resolution, better experience. But my question is it time for software? I keep looking at these new headsets that keep coming out, adding more resolution, adding more and more, but if the software doesn't match how exponentially better headsets are getting, is the experience the same? I'm really hoping to see more from software this year in games, but let me know your thoughts on that. Also, Star Wars fans, rejoice because the Force is with you in VR. VR fanfare for Star Wars is doing amazing things because it's not Vader Immortal 4, it is a new Star Wars VR game coming out. Announced on both the Oculus blog and straight from the developers, they announced Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge, a new VR experience being developed in collaboration with Oculus Studios. The original story will include multiple styles of gameplay and difficulty settings and will be coming out later this year. The developers had this to say about the experience. VR is an incredibly powerful storytelling medium. This experience will immerse fans in a deep and thrilling adventure within the Star Wars galaxy as they are transported to impossible places through the power of virtual reality. This ties closely to the actual in-person Galaxy Edge attraction at Disneyland in Florida and California, so a great way to experience Star Wars in different mediums, and I'm very glad to see the developers behind this game actually not just using Star Wars as a novelty, as a gimmick to attract people, but just like they did with Vader Immortal, actually putting in some effort to create a great VR experience. That's where we are right now. We'll of course circle back to this when we get more information, but I'm very excited about the possibility for a more rich, a more interactable, a less on rails, and more story-driven Star Wars game in VR, so I can enjoy the IP that I've loved for quite a while in a different way than just kind of on the rails. Vader Immortal was a great option, but I'd like to see a little bit more. In our next story, there is a really cool app, and while it's not new, it is definitely new info to me, and I'm sure many of you, on an easy way to create custom VR chat avatars with no SDK knowledge, no coding knowledge, no complex applications. It's very easy and can be free or just a couple dollars. Called Tafi, the app provides a way with over 400 options to quickly make and quickly import custom avatars to VR chat. Tafi provides a ready-to-use avatar style and asset system, so users have everything they need to create avatars that are uniquely theirs. Also, in any software their SDK can be found, it will work with full cross-platform streaming and support, and everything will be managed by their custom avatar manager. I didn't spend much time at all and ended up with a pretty solid avatar in this insane price. Pretty much a good deal. Wanting an avatar that more closely resembled me than Mike from Monsters Inc. has been something that I've wanted for quite a while, but I didn't want to pay for a custom commission. This will be a great opportunity for many to make avatars to travel VR chat. Tafi is free to download and free to use, and there are many assets and many avatars you can create free of charge. Although if you want to put a few dollars, and I'm talking just a few dollars, you can create a really awesome custom avatar of yourself as well. Give it a shot. I'll see you in VR chat, and maybe you'll see exactly what I look like in avatar form. Also, there's an interesting teaser going around for a virtual desktop workspace app that brings the keyboard and brings the mouse into VR with you to help you be more productive and have that virtual workspace of the future. This is called Exo Virtual Desktop. Their app will mirror your computer screens, and while they want this to work in other apps in the future, baby steps first. Their current goal is to provide the user with a natural experience where they can use their computer in VR in a single or multiplayer environment. You can relive those LAN party days or work next to other coworkers in VR or just by yourself so you can really focus. Now the user still has their physical keyboard and mouse in front of them for the tactile feedback, so the computer is still using its connection to the input devices for information. You can also use a wireless mouse and keyboard connected to the Quest to send input information to your computer as well, so there is some flexibility. The main purpose of showing your hands is so that you can see what keys you are pressing on the keyboard, see your mouse to easily grab it, and to just use the UI within VR. This is just a teaser of this. There's no ETA that I know of when this release, and of course there's going to be a lot of hurdles that this will have to overcome, like people not wanting to have headsets on for too long, resolution, text being a little bit of an issue. There's some barriers, but it's another step forward to that virtual workspace that we all sort of want, and bringing the keyboard and mouse into VR, adding that tactile feedback just is more convenient to working in VR than arrow pointing and typing that way, but let me know your thoughts on this. And finally, I'd be remiss with myself if we didn't bring up the awesome new Half-Life Alyx 1.4 update. Just a quick story to show you some cool stuff. In update 1.4, it adds very realistic liquid effects to bottles all over Half-Life Alyx. There's also some fixes for cases of crashing, new features to the modding workshop, subtitles for many other languages, and a few more small tweaks. The small things add up. It is small, but it adds quickly, and it's a really nice thing to see added. But that's the end of today's video. Please leave a like if you did enjoy it. Please subscribe and hit that bell icon. That way you get alerts for when my videos go up. And as always, I'll see you in the next ones, VR Space Cowboys.